JoPaWrites here, once again, bringing you the writer's thoughts. This airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JoPaWrites. Also, you can catch the replays, youtube.com/JoPaWrites if you missed the original one. Follow, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. If you do enjoy the show, let me know if you want to see any topics covered in future episodes, but I'm just going to jump into it. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is Ronda Rousey signing with Facebook Gaming. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, she is a UFC fighter and then WWE wrestler. And she is a big video game player as well. She's been big into the Pokemon series as well as some other games she's talked about. She has been on the Up Up Down Down WWE YouTube channel as well, showing off some of her various skills in gaming. So she's been a known gamer. She's somebody who I think has been looking forward to streaming for a while. But it's interesting that she actually did sign with Facebook. Obviously, she doesn't have to worry about the using her real name or anything of that nature like some streamers do when it comes to Facebook gaming. What's going to be interesting is if that translates to a little bit more of a casual audience coming in to watch her stream, because we've seen that just signing a big name streamer doesn't translate into crossover. Even a big YouTuber like PewDiePie or a hip hop artist like Offset, the numbers just haven't flown in for anyone but that one creator. Now that being said, Ronda Rousey is a huge name. She's been in movies like The Expendables, so there's a very strong possibility that she will have a lot of viewers. But in my opinion, like, we'll just have to wait and see how much of an effect this actually has on the platform, because it's obviously going to cost them a lot of money to bring in someone like Ronda Rousey. She's got a big deal with WWE. She's made a lot of money through UFC and then through acting. So I can't see her not signing there for a big chunk of change, and especially to have exclusive rights when she hasn't even started streaming anywhere else. So I'm pretty excited to see how that translates, where that goes from the future. But yeah, it's very interesting news in my opinion, for sure. Then we had some E3 news. E3 has been kind of a changing venue. So I used to love E3 because it would be a one-stop shop for like all of your trailers, all of your new releases for the entire year. I get super pumped, see little clips, little snippets from games that was very very excited about. And over the last couple of years, it's kind of started to tail off. Now, one of the reasons is Sony hasn't been there. Nintendo is now doing their own thing as well. So you're missing two of the major players in the field, and that's problematic. They also, I think, don't know what to do, whether it's to become a fan convention like PAX, or stay as like a journalist kind of gaming media type of event where you showcase all this stuff and then show behind the scenes stuff to big names or IGN or whatever the case may be. They're caught in that middle ground, and I think that's where their problems lie currently, because one, they've had the data breaches, which a lot of people have talked about, but two, not having these big names. Their big moments are when they bring in someone like Keanu Reeves on stage, which was awesome last year. But there's not enough games to get people as excited as they once were. And especially in a day and age where everything can be kind of blasted out digitally to everyone, that excitement doesn't last as long as it once did. So I think they need to reshape what they're doing going forward. Now, one of the guys has kind of been the producer, and it runs a lot of these types of events. Jeff Keighley announced that he's actually not going to be running it this year because of some of the issues that have come up. And I think that's a big deal, because that's a huge change in how they're doing things again, which they need to change what they're doing, but they got to be careful not to overdo it and then lose whatever momentum they have left. Now, they're still going to have a lot of the big publishers. They're still going to have Xbox. So there's going to be a lot of great reveals there. I'm sure they're working hard to get celebrities and folks like that in to make it as big an event as possible. But I do think that they're struggling to find the balance now that they've opened it up and made it a community event, which is the right decision, but also they didn't transition very well from that. So I don't know. I'm very excited to see where they do going forward and how they handle the changing of the guard there. Next up, we had a little snippet from the Batman, the new movie starring Robert Pattinson. Now, this is something that I think has the internet split. Whether you were a fan of Batfleck, Ben Affleck as Batman, or whether you just don't see Robert Pattinson as the Batman, the lighting on it looked pretty cool. The outfit I thought looked pretty solid, and I'm cautiously optimistic because I do enjoy all the comic book movies for the most part, even the ones that are not the best. I mostly enjoy them for what they are. That being said, for the Batman, they're stuck in a weird spot, just like Birds of Prey was, in that nobody knows what's going on with the DC universe. Nobody knows if it's part of the same universe, if they're continuing on with what is happening. Like, I think this is separate, but also they haven't clarified anything as far as what's happening with their universe. Is Aquaman still going to be around? Probably, because it made a bunch of money. Is Wonder Woman still going to be around? It probably, because it made a bunch of money. It'd be cool if they put it in the outside universe and then maybe do like a multiverse type of thing eventually. But they're just, there's no set organized structure, which is what Marvel has, and is why they've succeeded for so long. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see what they do with that going forward, because I do feel like, one, there might be a little bit of Batman fatigue between, we had Christian Bale's, and then we went into Batfleck, and then now we're into Pattinson. Like, you may have needed to give that character a rest for a little while. I understand it's the biggest name in DC Comics, along with Superman, but I still think what they're doing with that universe is kind of weird, and they need to figure it out and have either put all these movies separate, not have them come together, or start merging them together in a way that makes sense. I don't know if they're gonna do that. So, excuse me. Finally, we had the Sonic movie actually started releasing for critics and such, and it's actually getting fairly decent reviews. Like, not as terrible as once were expected. For those who didn't know, the Sonic movie was totally revamped as far as the look of Sonic itself. When it first was released, it was absolute nightmare fuel, and I don't think anyone was ready for that as a full movie. But they did end up switching that around. It looks a lot better now. The movie is one that I was not super excited about personally. I am a big fan of the Sonic franchise, but the movie looked like a standard fun action movie. Like, nothing spectacular, nothing stood out to me about the Sonic movie. But seeing that generally people are pretty positive about it, that means I'll go see it and see what all the hype is about, see what people are excited about, because it is something, like I said, as a fan of the franchise, that could be really awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, if they're looking to build multiple movies off of this, or if it's going to be a one-time thing. And I think if done right, it could lead to a lot of other video game movies coming out, which I think would be awesome. I'd love to see more video games in other mediums, whether it's TV, movies. I think a lot of the ones that I appreciate would be better off as TV series. Like, I would love Destiny, the TV series. I'd like actually a Borderlands movie, I think would be pretty kick-ass. But other than that, we'll just have to wait and see. That's all I got for you today. Thanks as always for stopping in, dropping by, checking out the video, whatever you might be doing, and I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks as always for stopping by the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe for future content, and I will catch you guys later.